Let me guess. You make more money than you did 3 years ago, but somehow you don't feel richer. Your paycheck went up, your lifestyle went up, your stress also went up. You check your bank account before buying something that technically you can afford, but you still feel behind. You see people online talking about seven-figure net worth and financial freedom, and you think, cool, that's not my life. Look, if you've ever thought, I'm not broke, but I'm definitely not wealthy either, this video is for you. Because there are actually 4 net worth levels nobody talks about, and each one has a completely different psychology. And if you don't understand which level you're in, you'll accidentally behave like someone in the wrong one. And that's where people get stuck. My name's Thomas, and I spent quite some time searching and studying net worth, wealth building, and why smart people stay financially stuck longer than they should. If you're someone who feels like you're working hard but not getting ahead, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Here's the thing. Most financial advice treats wealth like a straight line. Earn more, save more, invest more, retire rich. But wealth doesn't feel linear. It feels like phases. And the interesting part of it is this. Each phase changes how you think about money. Let's break them down. Level 1. Survival net worth. Negative to $10,000. This is the level nobody glamorizes. Your net worth might be negative. Student loans, car loans, credit card debt, maybe no emergency fund. Now, according to the Federal Reserve's Survey of Consumer Finances, the median net worth for Americans under 35 is around $39,000, but that number is skewed heavily by home ownership. A huge percentage of people in their 20s and early 30s have near zero or negative net worth. So if that's you, you're not weird, you're normal. But here's what most people don't realize. Level 1 is not about investing. It's about stability. And the math is simple, but brutal. Let's say you have $5,000 in credit card debt at 22% interest. You're making minimum payments of $150 per month. At that rate, you could spend years paying it off and thousands in interest. That 22% interest, that's a guaranteed negative return. There is no stock market strategy on earth that consistently beats that. Yet people at level 1 ask, should I invest in crypto? Should I buy dividend stocks? Should I flip houses? Look, if your financial house is on fire, you don't buy wall art. The psychology here is urgency and anxiety. When you're in survival net worth mode, your brain is in short-term thinking mode. Behavioral economists call this scarcity mindset. When money's tight, your cognitive bandwidth shrinks. You make more reactive decisions. You're not bad with money, you're overloaded. Action steps for level 1. Build a $1,000 starter emergency fund, eliminate high-interest debt aggressively, automate at least 5% savings once debt is manageable, avoid lifestyle upgrades, even small ones. This level is about momentum, not glamour. Level 2. Stability net worth, $10,000 to $100,000. Now we get to the deceptive level. You've paid off bad debt, you have an emergency fund, maybe you're contributing to retirement, you're doing fine, but you don't feel wealthy. Here's why. At level 2, most of your net worth is invisible. Retirement accounts, home equity, long-term investments, you can't spend it. And according to Vanguard's research, the average 401k balance for people aged 35 to 44 is roughly $100,000. That sounds impressive. Until you realize if you withdraw it early, you get penalized and taxed. So psychologically, it doesn't feel like money. Now you might be thinking, okay, so what's the problem? This is good, right? Yes, it's good. But this is where lifestyle creep starts killing people. Let's do some math. Say you make $80,000 per year. After taxes, maybe you bring home $60,000. You save $10,000. You spend $50,000. If you increase your income to $100,000 but increase spending to $75,000, your net worth growth barely changes. Income grew 25%, wealth growth barely moved. Here's the interesting part of it. At level 2, the game is not income, it's gap. The gap between what you earn and what you keep. Psychologically, this level feels safe, which is dangerous. You relax, you upgrade, you reward yourself, and slowly your savings rate stagnates.
Action steps for level 2. Lock in a 20% savings rate minimum. Increase income, but freeze lifestyle. Automate investing into index funds. Track net worth quarterly. This level is about discipline, not excitement. Level 3. Acceleration net worth. $100,000 to $1 million. Now we're in the level people fantasize about. Crossing 100,000 invested is powerful because compound interest finally becomes visible. Let's say you have $100,000 invested earning 8% annually. That's $8,000 in growth. You didn't work extra hours for that. Now imagine $500,000 invested at 8%. That's $40,000 in growth. That's an entire salary for many people. Here's what most people don't realize. The first $100,000 is brutal. Charlie Munger famously said the first $100,000 is the hardest, and he wasn't exaggerating, because early on, growth comes from you. Later, growth comes from assets. But this level has a psychological trap: comparison. Now you're in rooms or scrolling feeds where people are talking about $2 million, $5 million, $10 million, and suddenly 300,000 feels small, even though statistically it's extraordinary. According to Federal Reserve data, the median net worth for U.S. households is around $192,000. Crossing $500,000 already puts you far above median. But wealth is relative, and comparison destroys satisfaction. Now you might be thinking, okay, so what should I do with this level? Two things: protect downside risk, avoid ego investments. This is where people over-leverage real estate, start angel investing in friends' startups, trade options because they're bored. Look, at level 3, boring wins. Broad index funds, low-cost real estate, tax efficiency, asset allocation. This level is about optimization, not proving yourself. Level 4. Freedom net worth, $1 million plus invested. Now, let's define something clearly. I'm not talking about $1 million net worth including your primary home. I'm talking about invested assets. Because here's the math. If you have $1 million invested and you follow the 4% rule, that's $40,000 sustainably, not private jet money, but freedom money. You don't have to tolerate toxic work. You don't panic about layoffs. You can downshift your career. Here's the interesting part of it. At level 4, the biggest shift isn't financial. It's psychological. Money becomes optional. Time becomes primary. And here's what most people don't realize. Once basic freedom is secured, more money does not increase happiness proportionally. Princeton research famously suggested emotional well-being plateaus around certain income levels, adjusted for inflation over time. After needs and security are met, autonomy matters more than accumulation. Yet people at level 4 often keep playing the accumulation game. Why? Identity. They don't know who they are without growth charts, so they keep climbing a ladder that no longer leads to anything meaningful. Action steps for level 4. Define enough. Diversify into time assets, health, relationships, purpose. Reduce complexity. Protect principle aggressively. This level is about intentionality, not maximization. The real warning nobody gives you. Here's the thing. Most people don't get stuck because they lack intelligence. They get stuck because they're playing the wrong strategy for their level. Investing aggressively while drowning in debt, upgrading lifestyle before compounding kicks in, taking massive risks when preservation should be the focus. Each level requires a different mindset. Level 1, urgency and stabilization. Level 2, discipline and gap expansion. Level 3, patience and optimization. Level 4, purpose and protection. And if you skip psychological growth, your net worth will stall or implode. The framework you can use today. Let's make this practical. Step 1, calculate your true net worth, assets minus liabilities, no rounding up. Step 2, identify your level honestly. Step 3, apply the correct strategy for that level. Step 4, ignore advice meant for other levels. If you're at $20,000 net worth, advice from someone managing $10 million is often irrelevant to your current game. Different battlefield, different weapons. Final thought. Look, wealth is not a number. It's a progression of mindsets. The goal isn't to impress strangers. It's to buy back control. And here's what most people don't realize. The earlier you understand the level you're in, the faster you move through it, not by earning more necessarily, but by behaving correctly. If this video made you rethink where you are financially, comment below with which level you're currently in, 1, 2, 3, or 4, and what your next move is. And if you want more breakdowns like this where we mix the math and the psychology, hit subscribe, because the game isn't just building wealth, it's building it intelligently. I'll see you in the next one.